Sound art is a product that is a speaker and it's art. We combine it together and we call it sound art. What makes it so unique that any picture can be your speaker? Sound art gives you the high quality sound without the ugly speaker. This isn't a picture with a speaker, the picture is the speaker. Just imagine your wedding picture uploaded onto a canvas, and now it's speaking 10,000 tunes. I mean, it's a very cool concept. What we like so much about it that you can take anything that means something very special to you, upload it on the canvas, have it hanging up in your room, your balcony, wherever you want to put it, and now it's a speaker. I mean, how cool is that? It's something that we have that and no one has. No one has this product. It's just a great gift to give anybody. It's just a neat concept. Around here we say, art never sounded so good.
After months of quarantine, we're all interested in how we can become our best self. The team at Permanent Makeup and Cryo is here to help you get the flawless makeup look every day without the extra effort or time. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy.
Few dirt tracks in America hold the paramount status and allure that lay within this surface tonight. 45 minutes southeast of Des Moines, Iowa, you'll find the Half Mile, built in 1878, we're setting loose for your program this evening. Known as the sprint car capital of the world, Knoxville Raceway will virtually host a different breed of racing tonight as we assemble the stars and cars of the BRP iRacing series for their 5th race this season. Welcome, race fans, to PitStop TV. My name is Joe Donahue, and I will be leading you through tonight's coverage with my partner in crime on the mic, Mr. Hayes Booth. The lovely Trey Shuttlesworth will be behind the scenes as producer, and Corey Rexford powers tonight's social media coverage. Thank you for tuning in across our multiple platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Now, Hayes, this is your first run on the mic with the BRP guys. What are you excited about to see in tonight's showdown?
Well, you know what, man, I haven't had much time to look through a lot of the past races, but the ones that I have looked through, one of the things that I have noticed the most is how much these drivers know how to respect each other on the racetrack. We've seen some really good battles in the past races, but we haven't seen just over-aggressive, dirty stuff going on. These guys really know how to race around each other and be clean while also creating a good show for the fans. So I think we're going to see more of that tonight. I'm really excited for what we're going to see here.
I think that's a great point there, Hayes. These guys have a lot of respect out on the track, and they race each other hard at the same time. So absolutely exciting stuff that we're going to see tonight. We'll take a quick peek at the weather conditions these guys are going to have to fight against this evening. Your track temperature and air temperature are a little bit warmer than at least what I had to deal with today, but you can see it on your screen here. And we'll go ahead and pop over to those point standings for tonight's race coming into this event from last week at Lanier. AJ Albreda was the victor there, and you can see that bumped him all the way up to second place in the championship standings. At the top of the board is Kevin Hebert, obviously with that victory all the way back at Volusia, and then you look down the rest of your Cody Higby, Travis Miller, and Ryan Susi, who had a tough week last time out, went from second to fifth in standings. Now, Hayes, tell me your first initial reaction to this leaderboard, knowing that we are only 5 races into this season. What kind of racing do you expect to come out of how close this title is right now?
Well, kind of similar to what I said earlier, aggressive, but I think they'll know how to be clean with each other, and this is a very tight battle, especially with the top 5. You can see it's tied in 4th and 5th place right now, just 2 points behind 3rd. So I think definitely throughout the top 5 you're going to see some aggressive racing. But to be honest, I think it's going to be more aggressive outside of the top 5 because of the, those guys outside the top 5 have more ground. that they need to make up. So I think you're going to see it being aggressive up inside the top 5, but I think it's going to be more aggressive outside.
I would say that's a fair point, and I would be looking at all of those guys throughout not only the top 5, but even down into and outside of the top 10 to be putting on a stellar performance for you guys here tonight. Quickly, before we continue forward, let's go through the race details. This is going to be our schedule of events for tonight's evening. For tonight's race, we're going to start off with what we have right now is practice for these guys to work in the cars and the tracks a little bit, get the engines warmed up and get their feet under them. Then we will shoot over to a 5-minute session for qualifying where all the drivers will have 2 attempts to put in the fastest lap they can to set up the order that will then be setting the heat races. We should have at a maximum 4 of those, and those will be 8-lap events. Those will go fairly quickly in your program, so bear with us as we try to rocket through those into the possible consolation races, which will be 10 laps to put a couple extra guys into the feature race field. And then after that, obviously, the feature race at the end of the night will be 30 laps to crown your victor here this evening. While we have a minute, let's go ahead and go through some of the partners and sponsors that are putting on your performance of your show tonight. We'll start with the league sponsors list. You see them on the side of your screen right now. The title sponsor of the series is Vic Racing Products, obviously speaking BRP series, but also don't count out Rival Powder Coating, Matt DeRitter Designs, Jam Performance, and Miller Auto Detailing, and of course, right in the middle of your screen there, Butt Kicker for their support of this series. And while we have a moment, let's thank our supporters and our partners here at PitStop TV. We have to, of course, start off with Tucson Sound Art. Your picture, your music. You provide the image you want, and we will create a custom, beautifully framed, high-quality canvas with a built-in Bluetooth speaker. Sound Art technology gets you the best of both worlds. Visit Tucson Sound Art for additional information on these products, and don't forget the promo code. Use PitStop TV at checkout and receive 10% off your purchase. We also want to shout out Race Pace. Did you ever wish that you could have a race engineer on speed dial? Well, now you can. Thanks to Race Pace, the driver development service and setup shop, you get it all in one with the founder of that company, Tyler Campbell, a real-world race engineer ready to step up your game for your next race out in iRacing. Pick up the pace with Race Pace. Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine, very long-time supportive sponsor of PitStop TV. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy. At Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine, the owner, Ashley Bullier, is a certified micropigmentation specialist providing professional, safe, and personalized services to all clients. You can contact Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine at Permanent Makeup in Maine, or call them 207-358-8683. That's 207-358-8683. If you're looking for the best solutions for your permanent makeup concerns, give Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine a call today or hit them up on Facebook to book your consultation as soon as you can. And finally, of course, our parent organization, Whiplash Media. We want to say a special thank you for their efforts. They specialize in various sim racing resources that you may see here tonight on the stream. These include paint schemes, stream overlays, iRacing camera packs, and much more. Whiplash Media also working on its presence in real racing, offering services such as photography, social media management, and public relations. Be sure to go to the website, www.whiplash-media.com for more information. Once again, that's www.whiplash-media.com. So, as we count down the clock, we get ready to move forward in tonight's program and get this field lined up in their respective positions to start the heat races. We have to get into qualifying first. So as the clock ticks down, we'll give the floor back to Hayes. Hayes, you had a short period of time here to see these guys getting this track worked in and preparing for their race tonight. What do you think? What are you seeing out on track right now?
Well, I saw in practice, see a lot of guys. You can see the number 38 kind of entering around towards the middle, trying to bring it up to the top lane. I saw a lot of guys running the top in practice around the middle to top lane. So it's looking like that's going to be where a lot of the grip is going to be. That's where you're going to get a lot of the momentum off the corner. So I think that's mostly what we're going to see tonight.
I would say that's a great outlook. I think that by the end of the evening, obviously, we're going to be worked in to the point where the entirety of the track is up for grabs, but you could definitely be seeing some sliders. This track only has 8 degrees of banking, so pretty flat course, and these guys out in the big block modifieds, these kind of cars are set up pretty nicely to run a flatter track like this, so this could be a very exciting evening for you here. As you can see on your screen, we've got a countdown of 3 minutes running down right now. This is qualifying for race 5 this season. On your screen, you will see, once people start putting in some lap times, their names and their lap times come up on the board. You're watching the number 84 machine of Michael Hackett. That's scored as 484 on your screen. He is one of the first guys to take to the track. We see him coming down the backstretch in through 3 and 4 now, and we're going to start putting some names up on the board here in a second. Hayes, let's see how good we get it.
Yeah, you can see Michael just finished his first lap here. Fastest lap goes to, now Porter. Looks like he's at the top of the board right now. As we're riding on board with Michael Haggett coming around to finish his second lap. We'll see if it's any faster. Now Hebert goes to the top of the board.
So one of those names we've been talking about all season long, Kevin Hebert, sets the fastest time so far. You see Michael Hackett slide it to a stop and reset that car off the racing surface. The number 71 car currently holds the top spot on the board, but Jamie Porter in the 45 is currently in second. These guys do get through their qualifying pretty quickly, so it's completely on the table still that we could be seeing the final order, if not in a short period of time, then certainly now that we could be seeing these guys finished up with qualifying. You're looking at Randy Giroux in the number 24 machine, coming through turns 3 and 4, running up to the high side, just like Hayes had mentioned. He got it a little wrong right there, though, so backs it down. Yeah, that car's not going to be setting faster time here.
Yeah, it really does not look like it, as we are now on the number 1 machine of Joe Matthews, looking to finish his first lap, if I'm correct. And we'll see what he puts in there. Doesn't really look to put him far up on the board, currently P24 on the board. So he's finishing his second lap now, running around the middle lane. I couldn't quite get that car to turn, it looks like, and looks like he's gonna pull down to the bottom and stop it.
Yeah, it looked like Joe Matthews gave up on that run when he couldn't quite get turns 3 and 4 set up. You saw instantaneously Thomas Richard on your screen. He is not even in the top 10 for qualifying quite yet, which is something we're kind of not used to out of Thomas Richard. He's been putting up some great performances this season. Obviously the winner at Lima Land, and he's also got 2 heat wins to his name so far this season. So definitely interesting to see that out of him, but he did pull it up into the board a little bit there at the end of this qualifying session. As you see on your screen, we have hit 0-0. Time is up in qualifying, and we are staging the first heat race of this evening. Once again, on the screen, you see those presenting sponsors for this BRP iRacing series: Bicknell Racing Products, Rival Powder Coating, MDR Designs, Buck Kicker Jam Performance, and Miller's Auto Detailing. Now, we've got them lined up, getting ready to go. 2 laps of pacing before we set them green. Let's look at the starting lineup for heat number 1, tonight's racing. On the inside, that number 71 of Kevin Hebert will be followed to the green on his outside by Michael Hackett. Throwing it back to row number 2, you're going to see the number 121 of Tyler Pachalski. Watch that yellow machine go to the front. And on his outside, runner-up at Volusia, Brett Haas. In row number 3, Adam Hilton in the 3 machine on the inside, and his outside will be the number 99H of Double H, Hunter Holberg. We throw it back to row number 4, and that is where you will find the Beef, Corby Daniels, starting all alone back there in 7th spot. So these guys start to work in the track a little bit just to get it underneath them and get prepared to be set loose for the first heat race of this evening. Hayes, this is heat number 1. What are you expecting out of those guys trying to get up towards those transfer spots?
I don't know, man. I think it's going to be aggressive here. You know, we do have a small field here, but don't think these guys are going to give each other that much of an inch. We're definitely going to see some aggressive racing, but we'll see what Corby can do starting last in the heat right now. We'll see if he has the speed and the time to get up to the front.
Absolutely, we're going to be watching the beef. One of the guys making this series possible. We appreciate his work to get these BRP guys situated and ready to come out week in and week out at these races. Knoxville, get ready. The noise is about to come to you. Kevin Hebert's going to lead us to the green. And once we get it, we're off and away here at Knoxville, racing down into turn number 1. Kevin Hebert on the inside. Hackett's going to lose it to Tyler Pachalski for second place, at least instantaneously. Maybe a little bit of momentum for Hackett on the top side, as he's going to stay side by side with Pachalski for the moment. Now we've got Hilton pushing his nose underneath the 121 as they come out of turn number 4 for the first time. Kevin Hebert's going to lead that lap.
You can see Pachalski try pulling a slide job there in 3 and 4. I say tried. He actually made it work. Now he's going to try to run down Hebert, but Hackett's not giving up. He wants that second spot back. We'll see if he can get it from that number 121 machine as Hilton is right on his back bumper.
Yeah, Tyler Pachalski, one of those guys who's kind of had some ups and downs this season, had some tough breaks so far, and is definitely looking to put together a great performance. And right now running in second place in this heat, definitely going to put him in the A main and put him in a really good starting position, especially keeping Michael Hackett behind him, which seems to be the biggest struggle on the racetrack. As I say that, looks like Corby the Beef, Daniels, and Hunter Holberg got a little bit into it with each other back at the tail of the field. But yeah, Pachalski's biggest fight right now is going to be to stay in that second spot because they're coming on like a thunderstorm behind him.
Yeah, Corby Daniels has not been able to make up any spots here from the 7th position. He's still trying on Holberg to see if he can get that 6th position. But right now, it looks like Pachalski's building a little bit of a gap over Hackett as they're having a tough battle there for the 3rd position, as Hebert is checking out on the field right now with just 4 laps to go.
Yeah, Kevin Hebert's one of those people that you don't want to give space to because he will just rocket off into the distance and disappear into the sunset. And it looks like that's what's happening off the front of Tyler Pachalski's number 121 machine, although within grasp, I would say. But this track's still pretty young and pretty tacky, so I think this is going to be mostly single file right now. These guys just trying to work the track in a little bit to get it to the point where they can race each other a little bit harder. 2 to go at the line right now. Your running order: Kevin Hebert, Tyler Pachalski, Michael Hackett, Adam Hilton, Brett Haas. That's your top 5 as they come down the backstretch once more.
Yeah, the gap of now about 0.7 of a second that Hebert has over Pachalski. Corby Daniels still not able to make up any ground from the 7th position. But you can see Hackett is still within striking range of Pachalski, but he's still got that pressure from behind. Gap's still staying about the same between the leader and second place as we come around turn 4 for the final time.
We come around turn 4 for the final time. Hebert's got no trouble up front. You saw Pachalski slow down a little bit in the middle of the corner as Kevin Hebert comes across the line, taking the victory in this one. Pachalski's going to come home second, Michael Hackett in third, and Adam Hilton will round out the top 4 right there. So heat 1, my apologies, is under the books, and that is going to wrap it up. Kevin Hebert gets his 3rd heat win of the season as we look now to the starting lineup of heat race number 2. On the inside, in that number 45 machine, that white car, is Jamie Porter. And to his outside will be one of the big guns of this series, Travis Miller, driving that red number 22 machine. Throw it back to row number 2. You've got the number 84 will be scored as 844 on timing and scoring. Ryan Beagle will have Brandon Gruel in that black and green number 35 to his outside. In row number 3 on the inside is last time's runner-up Cody Higbee in the 97, and to his outside in the 49 machine, Dean Meitzler. So, rounding out your field in that 7th spot, row number 4, all alone back there, is Double D, Dylan Davidson in that number 73 machine, and that's your lineup. 8 more laps, 1 lap to green from here. Hayes, that first race seemed kind of interesting with all of our guys running in basically single file. You think we're going to be seeing any more of that, or you think this track's going to work in by the end of this one?
Well, I'd like to say that the track has worked in, but to be honest, I think we're going to see about the same type of thing that we saw in the first heat, just drivers kind of being a little more cautious, still, being single file, can't really do much with how the track is right now. I don't know if that first heat did much with the track, but it may have. You never know. We're about to find out here.
We absolutely are, Hayes. I do think that we should be seeing somewhat of the same here, but hopefully, at least for those guys more at the tail of the field, they will want it to be worked into their liking as much as possible, as the green flag's going to drop here. Jamie Porter leads us down. Travis Miller to the outside. Got to watch that 22. He's bad fast every week we go out here and race. And around the outside, tried to pull some momentum around Jamie Porter. Down the back stretch, Ryan Beagle holding on to third place. Higbee starting to make some momentum on the inside. Jamie Porter is going to come out of that final turn and lead lap number 1.
You see Miller around the outside of the number 844 of Beagle. He's going to get the run off of turn 4 and clear him. Now he's going to see if he can run down Porter. You don't want that same thing to happen that happened in Duel 1. The leader just pulled right away. He's trying to keep that from happening. Oh, and the 97 got up on the curb there, and he's going to lose, looks like, maybe 1 or 2 spots because of that.
Yeah, it looked like Higbee got a little aggressive in that corner, and it ended up biting him, but he's got the momentum on the top side, and we know Higbee's fast, so don't count him out quite yet. He's got Double D on the inside trying to fight for that 4th spot. They're side-by-side past the line again. Higbee is the only car running up that high into the track. Everybody else still trying to run the bottom as much as possible. Jamie Porter back up front has plenty of pressure from Travis Miller at the same time as these guys are fighting for that final spot in the transfer. Travis Miller is one of those fast guys, has plenty of good performances under his belt. Jamie Porter, a name we haven't really talked about so far this season with a lot of outstanding performances, but tonight certainly at Knoxville giving a great chance to that 45 in front. You're riding on board with Cody Higbee again as we go through 3 and 4. Double D got out single file in front of him, but Higbee's not going to let him go quite yet.
Yeah, the top 3 has kind of broken away a little bit from the rest of the field with Porter, Miller, and Beagle. They're just kind of running single file like we saw in the first heat, trying to see what they can do with each other as we come around to just 2 laps to go here in heat number 2.
So with 2 laps remaining, Travis Miller still putting pressure on. So is Cody Higbee on screen right now. That blue number 97 trying to run the outside line and figure out how to get around this 73 car. He tried to dip to the inside off of the top. It didn't quite work. Davidson did kind of block the inside a little bit with where he ran his line through turns 1 and 2. He does the same through 3 and 4. As the white flag comes out up front, Jamie Porter's got plenty of pressure behind. Travis Miller's going to try to over-under. He comes to the bottom, not going to get there this time. They go to 3 and 4. One more attempt for Ryan Beagle to get around Miller and Miller to get around Porter. They go through 3 and 4, all nose to tail, but out of the corner. Jamie Porter going to pick up his first heat race win of the season. And as I say it, what a run to the finish by Higbee and Davidson. And so with that exciting finish to heat number 3, we already have to get set and ready for heat race number 3. Looking on the inside of the first row is Gavin Eisel, that number 18 machine, bad fast. We know he can come home in first place, but he's going to have to fight off that 38 on the outside. Ryan Susi looking to rebound after last week losing some points in the championship standings. Throw it back to row number 2, and we've got the number 68 of David DePetro on the inside. His outside will be that white and blue number 24 of Randy Giroux. In row number 3, Richard Ferreira in the number 96 machine. To the outside will be Brian Berger in the 60 car. And starting all alone back there in row number 4, Rick Rodolski, that number 13 machine. So, a lap and a half will give us plenty of time to thank the sponsors and partners of this race, this series, and this channel. Once again, Bicknell Racing Products, Rival Powder Coating and Sandblasting, MDR Designs, Butt Kicker, Jam Performance, and Miller's Auto Detailing, all partnered with the BRP iRacing series, and then to our own partners here at PitStop TV. Thank Tucson Sound Art, Race Pace, Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine, and Whiplash Media for all of their continued support to what we come out here and try to do for everybody watching. I know we got 28 people online with Facebook. We appreciate you guys tuning in and spending your evening with us here on PitStop TV. Over on YouTube, we see 14 people, including my dad. I know my dad's back at home in Pennsylvania watching us broadcast this race tonight. So hi, Dad. Hope things are going okay back in PA. We're rocking and rolling here in Knoxville, Iowa, and we're getting ready to go with heat race number 3. It's Eisel and Susi leading us to the green, and it's out. We're away. A duel into turn number 1, the 38 on the top side, making some momentum up there with Susi getting the lead instantaneously over Gavin Eisel, and that is Randy Giroux trying to make it 3 wide for that race lead through 3 and 4.
Yeah, we saw Giroux, a really aggressive move there, but now I think we've got about 16 laps on the track, so I think you're going to see these drivers with the, have opportunities to make some more aggressive moves. As you see, here comes Giroux to the outside, not quite going to make it work there, but he's going to continue trying.
Giroux has a ton of speed up at the high end of the speedway. Eisel leading the lap this time, but I would be concerned about doing it again because that number 24 machine's coming on like a storm. You see, he got the fastest lap of this heat race right now, went purple on lap number 2, and as they go through lap number 3, they're side by side. You're riding on board with third place Ryan Susi, who hasn't quite let these two get away from them, Hayes. I wouldn't be surprised to see that 38 make a big move.
Yeah, for sure. He's actually trying here. He tried to see if he can maybe go 3 wide in the middle. But yeah, these two stay side by side. He's definitely going to keep trying as they enter turn number 3. And
Susi went to the bottom there. Sorry to cut you off, Hayes, but Susi went right to the bottom there, and it was worth noting that we put Eisel from first to third there as Giroux and Susi get a slide job and an over-under between the two of them. So we're getting pretty exciting up at the front end of this field. Eisel hasn't given up quite yet. He looks down the inside of Ryan Susi again as they're going to come to 3 laps to go this time. Giroux running the top side with Susi on the bottom, and Eisel's going to try to make a move again.
Yeah, he's making a move down to the inside goes Susi. He's going to pull a slide job and almost makes it work, but Giroux pulls the crossover move, and he actually backs off entering the corner, but he knew what he was going to do, and he's going to try to get a run down to the inside. And now he and Eisel make contact as they come to 2 to go.
Yeah, there was a little bit of contact right there. It sent the 18 backwards on track, but with 2 laps to go, he pulls right back up to them. They're spaced out, probably the most we've seen these 3 cars spaced out over the course of this run. Quick check-in, Richard Ferreira is running in that 4th spot, David DePetro in 5th, as we're still watching Ryan Susi trying to hold on to whatever he can over the number 24 of Randy Giroux. The white flag comes out, and Ryan Susi is leading the way. Enough of a gap, I'd say about 3 car lengths to Randy Giroux, that Susi should, sparing any mistakes, make it around 3 and 4 with no trouble behind him. And as he does so, out of turn number 4 this time, Ryan Susi is going to be your winner with Giroux and Eisel rounding out that top 3.
That was definitely a really fun battle between those top 3 drivers. They all raced each other with respect, but that was definitely a lot of fun to watch.
Yes, and I'm sure that it was fun in the driver's seats as well for those guys. Maybe a little nerve-wracking, but still a good time. We send it down now as it's time for the final heat race of the evening. Heat race number 4, Maxime Plant is going to be your pole sitter in that number 79 as the starting grid comes up on the bottom of your screen. His outside will be the number 3 machine, which is scored as number 300. Thomas Richard has won, was the Lima Land winner to be exact, and looking for more tonight. Starting in 3rd place in heat number 4 is going to be that 03 machine of Matt DeRitter, and to his outside, the winner last week at Lanier, AJ Albreda. Rounding out the top 5 starting positions in this one, had a really strong performance together last week, and then things kind of just fell apart for him. Mike Wenner in that number 23, definitely going to be looking to put the same performance together and try to hopefully have things tied up and not unravel for him. Joe Matthews in that number 1 machine going to be starting to his outside in row number 3. And finally, all alone back there in row number 4, that number 28 is going to be 28 on timing and scoring is going to be Corey Howe, actually showing as the number 33 with that custom paints on iRacing there. So, Maxime Plant up at the front. You see him in that blue and orange car, actually a new paint for that driver. He has previously been running a black, white, and orange car, but now new ink on the sides of his Big Block Modified as they come down the back stretch again. He's got some pressure from Thomas Richard on the outside. I'd be concerned about that. Thomas Richard, a very strong performer, and especially when the track's not quite worked in yet, I think there's some advantage to that number 3 car right now. They come out of turn number 4, getting ready to see that green flag. And out and away, they waited a while on that start, but into turn number 1, it's going to be Plant on the inside taking that race lead, Hayes.
You can see the number 3 getting a good run off the top side. We saw in the last heat, the outside really started to come into play now that the track had been used up some. I think it's just going to be even more of a factor here in this final heat. As you can see, the number 3 trying to get a run on the 79 of Plant as they are having a good battle for 3rd right now.
Yeah, they're having a good battle indeed. That's AJ Albreda up at the top side. Mike Wenner trying to fall in suit with him. The Ritter's the only one down on the inside line as you've got Joe Matthews starting to make it a little bit colorful in this group. 2 by 2 as they come out of turn number 4 this time. A little bit of contact between Albreda and De Ritter sends Wenner way up to the high side. Contact with the top wall there. Hopefully that doesn't screw up Mike Wenner's run. He's still got a good run down the backstretch, but he falls in behind De Ritter.
Yeah, that's actually looking like the outside is going to be the preferred lane here. As you can see, looks like Winner on the outside trying to see if he can get by Matthews. Matthews going to try to pull a slide job here in 1 and 2, but it's not going to work with the good run that 23 is going to get off the corner. Back up at the front, the number 3 has actually driven up to the back bumper of the 79 of Plant. He's going to try to see if he can make a move here as we just passed the halfway point here in the final heat of the night.
Yeah, Richard definitely pulled up to the tail of Plant, but I think the run he got out of that corner was the wrong move for him, but he learned from it, and maybe this time, maybe a better move will come out of that number 3 machine. You're on board looking back at Maxime Plant, working that wheel down the front straightaway again, going to be 3 laps for Richard to try to put the pressure on and make that pass stick. Look to the inside here out of turn number 2, side by side down the backstretch. Pulls in behind. Richard is going to have to just run in behind through 3 and 4 this time. But, Hayes, this is a great race for the lead. As I say it, Richard's going to peek down to the inside. Is he going to that run?
He's going to throw the slide job, but the 79 is going to pull a good crossover, and I think he's going to be able to clear him back off the corner. Well, maybe not, actually. Richard seems to have the preferred lane now. Now Plant's going to pull another crossover on him. Or actually not crossover, slide job, I'm sorry. 300 is the one that's going to pull the crossover as we are now in the final lap of the final heat.
They come out of turn 2 for the final time, still side by side. Plant's got momentum up top. Richard down low, going to maybe try that slide job, not the move, as Plant runs the top side and actually gets a lot of momentum. Side by side to the line, and this one's going to go to Thomas Richard. What a finish at the end of that one. Thomas Richard just pulled the inside line and got enough speed to get there first. Maxime Plant's going to have to settle for second. AJ Albreda held on to that fight for third spot. And
that
as
was a really good match.
Indeed, as we see that end, heat number 4 is in the books. We've got a couple guys lined up here for our consolation 10 laps tonight. And we will go ahead and check out the starting order of these 6 drivers in tonight's consi. You're looking at the pole sitter being the number 55 of Brett Haas. He will be starting to the inside of David DiPetro in the blue number 68 machine. In row number 2, we're going to see the number 99 H of Double H, Hunter Holberg, and to his outside will be the 60 machine of Brian Berger. And that last row of those guys in this consolation is that number 88, the Beef, Corby Daniels, and his outside, the 13 of Rick Rodolski. Now, Hayes, before we go green with these guys, what are you expecting out of a consolation? This is their last chance to make it in.
Well, I think we're going to see about the same of what we saw in the last heat. Outside's really going to play a big factor, but I think this one's going to be the most aggressive one of them all. The final chance to make it into the feature for some of these guys, it's going to be a lot more aggressive, I think.
Yes, indeed. I think I have to do my math, but I do believe we should be bringing everybody in. I will double check that and get my social media man, Corey Rexford, to confirm how many of them are going to be setting up for the A main at the end of this run. But in the meantime, we got 10 laps of exciting action to watch here on PitStop TV. And I did get the confirmation from our producer, Trey Shuttlesworth. We will actually be seeing all 6 of these guys make it into the A main. 26 drivers make the feature here in the BRP iRacing series. So as the green flag comes out, this is a race for starting position. So I don't think it's any less important for these guys, though. They want to make up any time they can now, have a better starting position in that A main.
Yeah, for sure. Track position always matters at the start of the race, especially in dirt racing. It can be hard to pass, so you want to start as far up towards the front as possible. So I don't take back what I said. These drivers are still going to be aggressive.
Absolutely, and as they do this, Brett Haas takes the race lead. David DiPetro up into second as Double H, Hunter Holberg into third, and Brian Berger into fourth. We have a mostly single file run out at turn number 4 this time. You're on board with Double H Hunter Holberg as he slides it back to the inside of David DiPetro, trying to take over second spot. Not quite there yet. The Budweiser number 99 on the inside. You're looking at the 68 up top, trying to run some momentum. Slide job city out of Hunter Holberg. That was a little dirty, but he got across, and the over-under is going to put David DiPetro back on his inside.
Yeah, that was an aggressive move by the Double H of Hunter Holberg, but it worked. He made it work, and he's going to... Oh, we got a spinner. That's Ricky Rogalski. And he's going to get it back going here, but he's going to lose a lot of time for that.
Well, I think we are going to throw that caution flag. We do have that car stopped on the racetrack, and this will give us a well-needed second to catch our breaths here up in the booth with those 4 heat races back-to-back, back-to-back, and this Constellation coming right out. But we'll see if we can get a replay up and show you what happened to Rick Rogalski running in 5th spot. Just a little bit of love in the back from Corby Daniels there. I wonder what anybody could have done about that. It seems like a racing incident there.
I'd say the beef gave him a buff there. Got right into the back of him and spun him around, but I don't think that was intentional, just aggressive racing for 5th place. But caution comes out, and we'll see what happens on this next restart.
Yeah, we're going to write that one down. The beef gave him the buff. I like that. Quote of the night from Hayes Booth right there is, these laps, I will mention these laps are counting in terms of the lap counter here for this Constellation. When we get to the feature race tonight, the caution laps will not count, but for the moment, these laps are counting them down. Your running order is Brett Haas in the 55. You see him on screen leading the way right now over Hunter Holberg in the 99. Dave DiPetro and Brian Berger round out 3rd and 4th, and I was confirmed that we actually are going to be sending 2 drivers to the haulers at the end of this one. We brought 5 in from each heat race, so we should be back to having some cutoffs here, and that'll make it interesting at the end of this race to try to fight to make it into the race and just to fight up to get those positions like we said at the beginning of this race. Obviously starting on the inside of the second to last row versus starting on the outside of the last row. Pretty significant difference as they go double file, which means we are 1 to green, getting ready to set these 6 cars loose again. We will come to the line and begin lap number 8. Brett Haas and Hunter Holberg will be the 2 cars leading us around. Hayes, I'm going to give you the green, let you go, see what we get out of this first lap back from the restart.
All right, man, here we go. Pace truck pulls off. We're back green, just 3 laps remaining. Brett Haas with a good jump on that restart, but now the 68 and 99 side by side for that second spot. 68 loose there in the middle of the corner, and he just might lose 3rd as well to the number 60 of Berger there as they enter turn number 3. The 99 gets clear for 2nd. Now he's going to see if he can run down Haas.
Yeah, running down Haas would be something he should be fighting for a little bit here, and you can see he's putting the pressure on. He's got plenty of trouble behind him. Here comes DiPetro to the inside, 2 by 2. The beef's starting to shake things up a little bit. Brian Berger, the only car running way down to the bottom side. Rogalski's all the way up in the wall. That 13 car ran way up high as we start the final lap of this race. Brett Haas has no trouble behind. He'll be transferring. So will Hunter Holberg, assuming nothing goes wrong. There's a race for 4th place back at the tail of this field, but Rogalski's going to have to put the afterburners on if he wants to catch up to Brian Berger right now. They come out of turn number 4. Brett Haas going to take the Constellation win. The rest of the order, a slew of them as they came across the line. Brian Rogalski, that final car there, is going to be the one we send back to the trailer, unfortunately, out of this first Constellation. We have Constellation number 2 getting staged just as that one ended. Definitely a great performance from all those guys down on the grid that are now going to get set and ready to make the A main. Constellation number 2 this evening starts on the inside with Double D. Dylan Davidson in the 73 machine, and Joe Matthews will be starting on his outside in 2nd. Throw it back to row number 2. The 3rd starting spot is Brandon Gruhl in the number 35, and to his outside will be the number 23, looking to make some runs and pull some momentum into the A, Mike Wenner. Throw it back to that last row. Row number 3 has Dean Meitzler in the 49, and the number 28 of Corey Howe will start on the tail of this field. So another 10 laps, another 6 cars, and another guy going home. Hayes, we're looking at one more time around before we get that green flag. It's been a sludge fest at least in that last consolation? Are we looking for the same, or is it going to be any different in your eyes?
I don't know. I really don't see this one being too different. I think you're going to see, about the same. We're going to see some slide jobs thrown, but we're also going to see that outside lane being preferred. A lot of people trying to get up there. So I think we're going to see about the same as what we saw in the first one.
Well, hey, if we get the same as last time, we're in for a good show here.
Yeah.
They come through 3 and 4. They're going to be looking for that green flag. The pace truck will make a hard left turn into the inside of the track. Double D leading us to the green. Roll in right behind him. Joe Matthews on the top side. Love that first name, Joe. We're rock stars up here. Green flag coming out. 10 laps to decide it. And we're off and away. Joe Matthews got a great run off the top for that start. Davidson trying to hold his own on the bottom right there as they look to go side by side down the back straightaway. Still racing for that lead spot. You're riding on board with the final car in line, Corey Howe. The one driver looking in from the outside as Meitzler seems to got a little bit of a squiggly wiggly, as we call it oh so often here on PitStop TV, out of turn number 4. The 49 is that final transfer as we see Mike Wenner running down the backstretch, losing time to the 35 as they go into 3 and 4. Your race leader changed. Joe Matthews up front. Davidson is in line, but those two haven't given up on each other quite yet.
Yeah, we saw at the start Joe Matthews was able to get a good run off the outside lane, but Davidson was able to run the fastest lap of the race so far there with the 20.0. So he's right on the bumper of that number 1 car, trying the lane just under the top, trying to see if he can make a move there as they come off of turn 4. But don't count Gruel out. He's now to the inside of Davidson trying to get that second position.
I'm not 100% sure where Gruel got all that speed, but he's using it to his advantage right now, right on the tail of Davidson as Double D follows Joe Matthews on the top side. Gruel's running the bottom all alone. Wenner's up top as well, trying to catch up to this car battle at the front end of the field. They're single file the rest of the way back as Corey Howe and Dean Meitzler just trying to get to the end of this one. We're coming up to halfway through this final consolation race. Last chance to get into the A. You see how far into the turn Gruel slides that car. Definitely trying to make up time on entry and on exit of the corner as they come past the line again. Davidson and Matthews up top. Gruel's still pushing hard as Davidson goes purple on that last lap.
Yeah, good lap of 20.060. Good lap for Davidson there, but he's still not quite able to get by Matthews. But Gruel is there in case they make contact or anything happens. He's there to pounce. And Wenner is actually closing in on Gruel. Gruel's trying to pull a slide job there, but now that's going to cost him a little bit of time to that number 23 machine.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit of lost time that you want to get back here. They all jump to the top side in 3 and 4 this time, though. Out of the corner, down the front stretch again. There's this single file, which is pretty cool to see that these guys are just trying to get to the end of this constellation before they make any big moves. They're all transferring to the main in this standpoint, so definitely don't want to make any big mistakes and take yourself out of contention. As I say that,
tried the bumper.
Double D gave a little bit of love to Joe Matthews in the middle of the turns. They come back down the front stretch again, 2 to go, but that gave Joe Matthews a little bit of a lead as Dylan Davidson slides it back up again. We might see the bump and run again.
I think we're going to need to see a slide job here from Davidson if he's going to have a shot. I think just continuing to run this lane won't quite work for him. He's got 1 lap to make it happen, though. White flag.
White flag out. Davidson did give Joe Matthews another bump in 3 and 4. That time looked like Matthews might have gotten a little bit in too far in 1 and 2. He stayed in front of him, single file. Davidson going to dive to the bottom. A big send from Gruel to try to see if he can get up there with those two. It didn't quite work out. Consolation race number 2 is going to come to the line. Joe Matthews is going to be the winner of this one. Dean Meitzler comes in 5th place there. That was the final transfer. Corey Howe, that number 33 machine on screen, going to be sent back. So that's 26. This field of 26 cars going 30 laps in tonight's A main. And look at that. We've already gotten to the feature race. The fireworks are going off here at Virtual Knoxville Raceway. And let's go ahead and bring you through the starting grid quickly for tonight's feature. Kevin Hebert on the inside. That 71 car is the pole sitter, going to be leading us to the green with Jamie Porter in the 45 up top. Looking back to row number 2 is going to be the... Wait for that to update on your screen, Ryan. Susie right there. You can see the 38 will be starting on the inside of row number 2. with Thomas Richard on his outside in the number 3 machine, the white and purple one. Tyler Pachalski, great run in his heat race, starting in 5th spot. The 121 machine will be starting inside of Travis Miller, one of the big guns of the series in that 22 machine. Starting off the inside of row number 4, we got Randy Giroux in the 24 car, and his outside will be the 79 of Maxime Plant, the gentleman, as they so call him. And rounding out your top 10 is going to be starting in 9th place on the inside, the Scortus 484. Michael Hackett is one of the 84s in his outside, another 84, Ryan Beagle. We throw it back to row number 6 is Gavin Eisel on the inside and AJ Albreda up top. 13th starting position on the grid for the A-main tonight is going to be the number 3 of Adam Hilton. Starting outside of him will be Cody Higby in the 97 machine. In 15th spot, we got Richard Ferreira in the 96, and Matt DeRitter will be starting in 16th in the 03 car on the outside. Then we have the 17th starter, Brett Haas, and the number 1 of Joe Matthews to his outside, those 2 consolation race winners. Row number 10 made up by Double H Hunter Holberg and Double D Dylan Davidson. 21st spot for David DePetro and 22nd for Brandon Gruhl. 23rd spot's going to be the Beef Corby Daniels. To his outside will be Mike Wenner. And that final row in this race, Brian Berger in the 60 on the inside, and Dean Meitzler, the last car to transfer in tonight's show. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is your field going 30 laps. Dirty for 30, as they call it back home in PA. Here at Knoxville, though, virtually on iRacing, the field gets ready and backed up from the pace car, or the pace truck, as it pulls in to the inside of the racing facility. 30 laps, 26 drivers, Kevin Hebert in that number 71, leading us to the green flag. We're away in race number 5 for the BRP iRacing Series this season. Hebert pulls to the top, tries to protect from Porter's run up top. Susie's going to benefit from that and get side by side for that number 45 machine. Maybe put some pressure on Hebert as everybody's trying to get up and get into the space up at the top side of the track, as Kevin Hebert's going to lead lap number 1.
Hebert in that preferred lane on the outside. Everybody's fanning out. Now here comes Susie down to the inside, trying to see if he can make a move. May have to pull a little bit of a slide job here. He's going to try it down in 3 and 4, and it looks like he's going to make it work. Yes, he does. Susie to the race lead in that number 38 machine. Oh, we got a spinner.
Oh, that was Jamie Porter getting a little bit into it. Tyler Pachalski got cut up in that one. Yellow flags come out on the track. What a tough break. Just talked about Jamie Porter finally breaking through and getting a first heat win of the season. 45 car was running up front. Pachalski just came on pretty strong here, as we're going to get a replay up on the screen. You're riding along with the 45. So Richard pulls a slider. Nothing too major there. They get into each other, and that's what sends the 45 slotting backwards. Pachalski came on with some momentum and just couldn't get that car under control in time to avoid contact, sending Porter into the inside wall, actually. So hopefully not too much damage on the front side of that 45 machine.
Yeah, it looked like Porter was slide jobbed, and he looked like he kind of tried to pull a crossover, just couldn't make it work. And I think a racing incident is really all you can call that.
I would agree with that statement. Just seems like wrong place, wrong time for Pachalski to avoid any contact there. Pachalski doing pretty well here. Not one of those names that we've talked about up in the top 5 oftentimes so far this season. Has had some ups and downs, but evidently proving that he's put in the work to get into the show and to stay up front tonight. Going to send the 45 car backwards in the race order to no fault of his own. Just couldn't get out of the way in time from that contact. You're looking at Travis Miller, who's made up pretty significant amounts of time right now. That 22 car knows how to go fast pretty much everywhere we take it. And Travis Miller, that is, has shown he's got speed, yet to break through with a race victory this season. Does have some heat wins to his name. That would be one specifically last time we came out at Lanier. You're on board with Ryan Susie, as he will be one of the cars to look for that green flag when we come back around one more time. They're double file on screen. That would be your cue to know we're going back to green flag racing. Thomas Richard in the 3, right behind Susie, who's got the inside line. Kevin Hebert up top in the 71, chose to be up there, as Travis Miller is going to have to follow the 71 through 3 and 4. Maxime Plant has caught up and is in 6th position just outside of that 121. You can see the yellow car on your screen. Tyler Pachalski, a nice view down from the blimp above the speedway as the green comes back out. on to lap number 4. Hebert slots down to the bottom as Susi, where he's running comfortably on the bottom side, got him into the race lead before. We'll see if it does the same thing for him this time as they come through turn 3.
Yeah, Susi got a really good jump on the restart, and they are continuing to fan out behind him. But Hebert got clear for second, so he's going to try to run him back down and take that lead back since he lost it on the second lap of the race. Now the 22 and 3 side by side for the third position. Looks like Miller's going to get a run into turn 3, but the 3 of Richard's going to try to pull across. And now the 79 of Plant with a good run around the outside. He's going to take him 3 wide for third.
The gentleman way top. Oh, that's contact right there. Travis Miller definitely hit that 79 machine. They keep it cool and stay green. Maxime Plant, they definitely made contact there. I'm surprised they didn't lose more time. Oh, there's contact again behind. Yep, the gentleman there got hit from behind by Randy Giroux, that 24 machine. I am very surprised and very impressed by Plant keeping that car under control as he's now 3 wide with Albreda up top. And he's going to try to slide through the middle here and get Giroux and keep Albreda behind him. I don't know if it's going to work that time, but he slots to the bottom, at least takes that 24 out of the picture.
Yeah, Plant did lose some time there, but I tell you what, that could have been a lot worse. He did a good job handling that car. As you can see, they have a good battle going on for 5th right now between these guys. The 22 of Albreda is going to take that position. He won Lanier last week, so he's looking to go back-to-back here tonight.
Yeah, those two 22s fighting in the middle of the racetrack with Maxime Plant down on the inside. Oh, that's Eisel making contact right there. Oh, that was big contact from the 18 machine and Albreda, though. They didn't lose a lot of momentum. Didn't let Hilton Beagle, those 2 cars you see behind them, get up to the tails and start putting pressure on them. They still get the fight with Maxime Plant and Travis Miller. You see Gavin Eisel running the top side with Travis Miller as Albreda makes it 3 wide to the racing line. Again, 1/3 of the way to this race in contact again between Plant and Albreda, and that's going to send him up to the top side.
You got that contact there into turn 1, forced him up into Albreda. Oh, and we got more contact here further behind him. That's number 24. He goes up into the wall. Going to try to hang on to his car. He will, but he's going to lose some serious ground because of that. Man, not a good start for some of these guys.
Man, I'll tell you, they're getting really rough with each other. It's getting a little extracurricular out here. I'm really happy to see that these guys are keeping their cars underneath them, though. They're definitely running well. A lot of contact has been made so far as Maxime Plant pulls around the outside of Albreda, puts that 22 car behind him. He does have to worry about another 22 car.
Holy slide job. Wow.
That was one of the biggest commitments I have seen in this race tonight. Travis Miller absolutely sent that car. Didn't get Plant, and actually ended up falling back into the grass of Albreda, who now gets back around him again. But holy cow, that was a slider.
Yeah, without a doubt. Albreda is going to move up into the top 5 now. You can see the 18 of... Oh, we have somebody on their side. That's Hunter Holberg.
Wow, not sure what happened there, but Hunter Holberg was on his side in the middle of the corner. We'll definitely pull up a replay and see what happened to Double H here. He's running pretty solid on his own. You see Double D on his inside. And, wow. Well, there's wall riding, and then there's that. That was some fence riding right there. Logan Seavey-esque stuff out of Hunter Holberg. I mean, let's diagnose this one, Hayes. It looks like it's just Double D coming up the racetrack.
Yeah.
Well, just there.
And I think Double H just defied the laws of physics there. That was a fence ride if I've ever seen one.
I have never. That's a pretty cool shot right there. That is cool, albeit not for Hunter. He did not need to have to be sent back to the pits. He did not have to reset, or if he did have to reset, he did not want to have to reset in this race. Sends the 99 back to the tail end of the field. Unfortunately, going to take him out of contention for this one. But yeah, I guess if you're going to go out with a bang.
Yeah. That's how I would want to DNF in a race, in a cool way like that. So if it had to happen, that's probably the best way it could have happened. So you can see Susi still with the lead here. He was able to hold strong, and he's definitely got a fast car here tonight.
Yeah, Ryan Susi, one of those guys who comes in, week out with a strong performing car and does his best to stay up front with these guys. There's a lot of great names in this series as you see them lining up double file, getting ready to go back to green. We have just barely gotten close enough to the point where we are halfway into this event. 13 laps down on your screen. You can see that in the top left. Ryan Susi going to be starting on the inside. He likes it down there, and he's going to pick that spot with Kevin Hebert on his outside in the 71. Still got Richard and Plant behind him, although there was plenty of action in and amidst from the last restart that could have shaken things up a little bit. They come out of turn number 4. Susi on the loud pedal. The throttle jockeys are set loose again down the front straightaway. Susi gets the inside line, wants to keep it, and pulls ahead into the race lead, back down the backstretch again.
He's ripping the car around the inside lane. Now here comes the 3 of Richard to the outside of Hebert. Now he's going to try to get to the outside of Susi, see if he can maybe get a good enough run to take the lead. He will get to the outside of Richard, and the leader's still going to the bottom. Here comes Susi to the outside, but Richard's going to pull across over 3 wide for the lead now with Richard on the inside.
I'm wondering if Ryan Susi didn't intend to go up to the top side, as we do have a yellow flag come out on the racetrack right at 15 out of 30 laps. Dean Meitzler, the Beef, Corby Daniels there, the 2 cars involved actually, so we have Porter involved in this one as well. There seems to have been a big incident off that restart, and you can see it on your screen right here. Hayes, why don't you go ahead and try to walk us through your best guess of what's going on with that?
Well, let's see. You can see here the 88. Oh, the 23 hits the wall. 88 has to come down. That forces him down the track. Oh, man. See one car go up into the air. That's the number 55, I believe. Multiple guys just with nowhere to go here. Let's take a look one more time. See, looks like the 23, did he hit the wall before? Yes, he did, and that forced the 88 to come down, cross the nose of the 45, comes back up the track, and a lot of these guys just nowhere to go. Man, not a good start to the race for multiple drivers.
Yeah, you see Brett Haas right there. That's the 55 car airborne off the wall in turn number 1. We're on board now. This will be a nice view. This is our second shot of the night on a car that's flying through the air. Yeah, I mean, nothing you can do right there, Hayes. You just get caught up in a pile up there with the field so close together, and these guys just crashing and slowing down in front of you. Nothing you can do to react fast enough to that one.
Yeah, and you know, to me, that's the worst way to DNF a race, is because of something that you know you could not have done anything about it. You know, DNFing, you know, because of something that you know, well, it just kind of depends on the situation, you know, whether it's something that you could have done. If it's something that you could have done about it, you know, it kind of goes both ways. But to me, DNFing because of something that you know, there was nothing you could do about it, that's one of the worst ways to go out.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that statement. I never want to get taken out on the behalf of somebody else, but that is part of racing, and, you know, you strap in, you have to be willing to succumb to some of the consequences that could possibly come of going out on track with these guys. The field getting double file lined up again, so we're going to go back to green flag racing again. Ryan Susi's going to be starting on the outside this time. We got Thomas Richard on the inside in the 3 machine. Is going to be leading us back for the first time on the front row in a while in this series. You're on board with the 73 of Dylan Davidson. More back towards the tail of the field, riding right behind the Beef, Corby Daniels, that 88 machine. You can see it's pretty tore up in front there. So we come past the line again, and we're going to get ready to start the second half of tonight's main event. Susi up top. You see on the side of your screen all of the presenting sponsors of this series as the green flag comes back out. They support these guys coming out and taking those green flags. Susi did so very strong. Look at the send off.
Hard slide, yeah.
Big send into the corner there. We got one up in the fence in the middle of 1 and 2.
Oh, another guy on the side.
That is
AJ Albreda.
Albreda, one of those guys who's been very strong tonight so far, stuck on his side in the middle of the corner. Going to have to reset that machine and take it back. So we go right back to yellow off that restart there. Hayes, try to walk us through what you see from the 022.
Well, let's see what we can see here. Oh, you can see the 22 hits the wall, or the old 22, I'm sorry, and then just, and goes for a wild ride. Let's try to take a look at that from a different point of view. See, on the restart, he gets a good jump behind the number 79. And into turn 1, the 71 pulls up, he hits the 71, and that gets his car upset, and it hits the wall, and it's on from there. There's nothing he could have done after that.
Yeah, it looked like there was a lot of grip up there that all of a sudden hit that number 22 car and just caught Albreda off guard. You're on board with the other 22 car here. Travis Miller on the restart started on the inside line. There's the contact from Hebert, and then, yeah, absolutely grip flipped that car off of the cushion up top. Albreda, unfortunate turn of events there, sends that 22 car up on its side and now back onto the pit lane. So a very tough break there for Albreda. As we will take the opportunity to really quickly thank our partners here at PitStop TV. Again, Tucson Sound Art, your personal picture, and a Bluetooth speaker together. What could be better than the collaboration of sight and sound that Tucson Sound Art does? Be sure to go to TucsonSoundArt.com, get more information on that. Race Pace, Tyler Campbell, a professional engineer in the real world, will be more than happy to get you the iRacing setups and driver development information you need to perform better here on the platform. Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine. Want to thank Ashley Bullier for not only helping all her clients out, but coming out and supporting us here at PitStop TV. And, of course, our parent organization, Whiplash Media, offering all sorts of great services, both in the real world and for any iRacing needs you so desire. One of the great performers with Whiplash Media is our producer tonight, Trey Shuttlesworth. His photography is top tier. As we go back to green flag racing again, everybody ran up to the top side as they finally allowed these guys to run single file off of the restart. That is a standard in this series. They do start running single file restarts to try to get these guys to pull some laps together as we are finishing lap number 17 this time. Ryan Susi going to lead us past the line again. Richard going to make a big send in through turn number one.
That's good. Susi pulling a crossover here. We got one guy kind of slow on the inside, not really sure who that is or what their issue is. That's further back in the pack. You see multiple crossovers being pulled here. Now we have Richard pulling a slide job here on Susi. Susi going to pull another crossover back down to the inside. See if he can make that work with Plant right behind them to try to take over if he can.
Maxime Plant has been slowly stalking. Holy slider right up to the top of the racetrack. Susi went right there.
Oh, we have another one in the fence.
That's Travis Miller upside down in the middle of the corner. Oh, another yellow flag going to come out on the racetrack. Is Travis Miller going to get that car set on four wheels, or is it going to end up on its roof? Susi and Richard were racing really, really well for that top spot as Travis Miller does make the tow back to the pit lane. What a tough break for another 22 car that's been running so strong tonight.
Man, he was kind of a part of the last caution with AJ Albreda, who went flipping, and now he goes flipping. Man, how many guys are we going to see in the fence tonight? Yeah, it looks like he just tagged the wall, and his car just kind of got pulled up there, and he's on for the ride.
Yeah, it looked like Travis kind of flirted a little bit with the outside wall when he went through 3 and 4 right there, and you saw he just caught the tail of that machine, and it kind of gripped up and pulled the car back up into the wall, and then obviously from there it's game over for Travis Miller. Try to get that car set back on its wheels so that he can keep rolling, but obviously it stayed on its side, and he had to pull that car into the pit lane and get it towed back there in the program. So tough break for Travis Miller. He definitely was running strong all night long and showing that he had the speed to be beating up at the front end of this field, but I guess it just wasn't meant to be tonight.
Yeah, but I tell you what, it seems like it's meant to be so far for Ryan Susi. He's done a great job leading the race so far. We're going to restart with just 11 laps to go here. Caution laps do not count, so we could still have a lot more time left in the race if these cautions do keep falling, but it's coming down to the wire here for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's starting to be crunch time, especially in the mid-pack. I think that's where the racing is going to start picking up from here. Those guys that want to try to get up into the top 5 are going to be pushing a lot harder now that we've only got a little over 10 laps left in this event. Susi got the lead off the restart. Richard slide jobs up to the top side.
Oh, we have somebody else flipping further back, I think. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Well, he looked like he got himself going again there.
Yeah,
but
it looked like it.
Yeah, I think we're good to go. We're still green off of turn number 4. Susi leading the way, Plant to the bottom. Richard still putting plenty of pressure on that number 38 machine as Plant's the only car down low, pulling plenty of momentum on his own. Pretty surprising. And good to see that Plant's starting to put some pressure on for second place right now.
And we have another caution out on the track. That is for the number 68 machine. We'll see.
Yeah, so that is Dave DePetro, yeah. And like Hayes said, we're going to try to pull up a replay here. Geez, that's a tough break. We got right back into the swing of things, and
Oh
there's
yeah,
that
somebody
car.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was Pachalski up to the top side that got not quite flipped over, but definitely wall riding a little bit. And
we'll see. Not sure what happened here to bring the caution out. So they're entering turn 1, and the 022 gets into the back of him and spins him around. And he goes up into the outside wall. Oh man, tough break for the number 68 machine.
yeah, DePetro was definitely fighting this racetrack, just trying to sludge it through and get to the end of this race right there. And you see you're on board with Albreda, and he just sent it into the corner a little bit harder than he probably should have, with DePetro right in front of him. And unfortunately, I think that's kind of the aggression of getting towards the end of the race showing itself right there from Albreda, but definitely put some contact on that 68 car.
Yeah, for sure. And I would say that I'd say that if caution laps counted, then the 38 would be enjoying this. But I think this is getting annoying for him and everybody running up front now with these cautions falling.
Yeah, these guys definitely want to try to race to the end of this event, and these cautions are kind of holding them back a little bit. They're kind of like those gates. Now, this was a horse track, so we're going to make a reference to the horse racing history of this track. It's like those gates at the beginning of a horse race. You see they pull the gates shut, they stage up all the horses, get them lined up ready to go, and then set them loose finally. But those last couple instances of time before they set those gates open and let the horses run, things get a little feisty inside those stables. So definitely the same idea is going on inside of these modifieds right now as they finally get that green flag again. Single file restart. Susie to the top side with Richard and Plant behind him. They go single file right there, but Hebert's trying to make some noise on the bottom side, that 71, looking to get into the top 3.
Looks like Susie may have tagged the wall a little bit. Richard goes right to the back bumper. He's going to go to the inside. Susie kind of got out of shape, and that's actually Richard is going to get clear to the lead now. 9 laps remaining. No, 8 actually, I'm sorry. Now the 78 going to try to get a run to see if he can take second from Susie. Susie did not like what happened there. He's going to try to take the lead back. Oh, and he and the 79 making contact there into turn 3. And that's exactly what Richard wants to see.
Yeah, but I would agree with you. That's what Richard would want to see, but I'm really surprised. Look at how much speed they've caught up. They're right there with Thomas Richard right now. Susie and Plant putting plenty of pressure on each other right now for that second spot. There's a great race on screen right now. The Alpha race right now on screen is the best battle up at the front end of the field. The rest of the guys just kind of falling in suit, trying to find a good line for themselves in the mid and tail end of this pack right now. Richard running the top side with Plant on some momentum down the straightaway. I think he got into the wall a little bit there, but Thomas Richard still holding on to this race and holding on to that top line.
And we have another caution, the 99 machine. Seems to have spun out here. That is Double H. See what happened to him. Oh, man.
Yeah, so that's Hunter Holberg right there. You see Pachalski right there. Brian Berger is the car he tags. Holy cow, he tagged that car hard. And then,
and the 22 involved again.
Wow, Albreda.
Oh, and he goes up on his roof again.
Absolutely nothing Albreda can have done right there. Actually, that was Pereira right in front of Double H in the exit of turn number 4, getting it a little squirrely up to the top side. And then, that's a little bit just too aggressive there from Hunter Holberg.
Yeah. And then, the 022 AJ Albreda flipping over once again. He tried to miss it. He almost did, but he was clipped at the last moment. You can see here they come down the track. He's as low as he can be and just, barely gets hit and goes on his roof.
Yeah, Albreda might have been able to do something about that if he had a little bit more time and maybe had a little better view off that car. Here we're on board with Brian Berger, who does a 360 and keeps it pretty clean, at least relative to Holberg and Albreda, kept it pretty clean for that accident. Just a little spin for Berger, and he's been kind of running at the tail tonight, so that's got to be frustrating, and a lot of heartfelt feelings for Brian Berger right now, getting into that incident and sending him a couple extra spots further towards the rear.
Yeah, we talked about it coming down to the wire earlier, but now it's really coming down to the wire. When we restart, it'll only be 5 laps remaining. And Susie wants to get that lead back, but he's in third now. And he's only got a handful of laps to get it done.
Yeah, Susie definitely had a stranglehold on the beginning stages of this main event, but Richard put on the afterburners, and Maxime Plant, a very strong performer in this series, week in, week out as well. Definitely can't count the 79 machine out of the race until the checkered flag is completely set and the race ends. But for the moment, we're going to have about 5 laps left in this race. When they get the green flag again, they get on the loud pedals down the front stretch once more. Thomas Richard, Maxime Plant, Ryan Susie. That's your top 3 as they run the top side of turns 1 and 2 back to the back straightaway.
Yeah, you can see the top 2 kind of pulled away a little bit. They're getting a little bit of a gap over the rest of the field. Now, oh, never mind. They both get into the wall. Round goes to 77, and we're about to have a big pile up here in turn 4.
That has big implications on the ending of this race. They're still
55 is barrel rolling.
Brett Haas took about the halfway down the straightaway to come to a stop from that roll. That was a big incident involving a lot of drivers in this field. We'll get this one set back up and pull up this replay here. Hayes, I don't even know what to say about those guys at the front end.
I wouldn't know exactly where to start. It was Dylan Davis that did barrel rolls down the front stretch. Let's see how that happened. He just, had nowhere to go, piled in, and then, oh man, look at that. This does, looks like 3 barrel rolls is what I counted there.
Yeah, so apologies on the mispronunciation. That was Double D flipping violently on the front stretch. I was very surprised to see Plant and Susie, 2 guys who've been very consistent and very strong all night long, both get up into the wall kind of separately and obviously collected the whole group of them. Second place and third place at the time they came into that corner, and they just sent a whole bunch of cars spinning.
Yeah, it actually looked like the 71, Kevin Hebert got into the back of the 79, but other than that contact, he got away from that wreck clean. But I tell you what, a lot of these guys at the back just had nowhere to go, and that's I'd say it's going to end Double D's night, but not sure how much damage some of these other guys might have.
Yeah, there were definitely a lot of cars involved that got into it, got damage. I saw Porter in there. We obviously know Plant was involved. We saw Brett Haas. Double D was involved in that one, flipping violently. I mean, a lot of really good cars were involved in the accident. One of the guys who didn't get too caught up in it, though, you see him in second place right there, Ryan Susie, who had gotten it wrong on the entry of the corner, but obviously kept the car underneath him enough and saved it to the point where he now stays in the top 3 and actually advanced up to second place over where Maxime Plant was before the inevitable caution that we just had happen, and unfortunately going to send the 79 out of contention for this one at the moment. But Susie gains that spot and gets a little bit closer to the tail of the 3 car.
Yeah, I'd say, besides hitting the wall, that wreck definitely benefited him. So we're going to go green this time by with 4 laps remaining. Oh, what's going on with Susie?
Oh, so this might be the EOL end-of-line penalty that Ryan Susie might be getting for being involved in that crash. So they might be sending that 38 machine to the tail of the field for being involved in general, which will put Kevin Hebert into the second spot and actually bring Gavin Eisel into the top 3, guy who was strong earlier in the night, but we haven't really talked a whole lot about him in the top 3. Well, now you're here. Welcome to the top 3. Gavin Eisel. They will sort out this one and get these guys squared away to hopefully round us out. You're looking on the left side of your screen at some of the presenting sponsors and partners of the BRP iRacing series. Much appreciation for you guys giving these both drivers and crew members a good time here every Monday night and have something to look forward to after the first workday of the week. They get lined up on the top side of turns 3 and 4. Thomas Richard going to set them loose again. Green flag at the line. The 3 car leads us down. Hebert and Eisel round out the top 3 as we'll see if they can put some pressure on Richard and fight more as Higbee running down on the bottom side. That 97 car is starting to make some noise.
Yeah, Richard was able to get a good run, build up a little bit of a gap on that restart. And now we'll see if Eisel has anything for the number 71 machine. He's side by side with the 97 of Higbee right now. Higbee trying to pull a slide job to get to that 3rd spot.
That run looked like it would work for him. He's still running pretty solidly with Eisel as they come into the corner again. Adam Hilton is a name that we haven't talked about a lot up at the front end of these feature events. He's now back into the top 5. Michael Hackett on the outside looking in for that top 5 finish as we come past 2 to go. So a lap and a half this time through. Richard up top looking to be the first repeat main event winner of this season. Hebert's looking to do the same. Higbee's making a huge run, slides up to the top side as the white flag is going to come out.
Oh, we got somebody.
Someone's in the wall.
And actually, that's going to be a caution, I think.
Yes, that caution did come out before they hit the line, so we're definitely not done with this race quite yet. Obviously, Richard did not want to see that. Kevin Hebert definitely did. Higbee probably very grateful for the chance to put a run on the 71 machine. But that involved Gavin Isel. These guys we're looking at the top end of the field here. We'll try to see if our producer can get us a replay on board with this 18 machine, Hayes, and that's a tough end to the night for Gavin Isel.
Yeah, I think he was the one up in the fence there. We'll see what happened here. It started around in the middle of 3 and 4. So he's a little out of shape there on entry, but that back end just hits the wall and he gets hit again and goes up into the air, does a little bit of a cartwheel and lands back on his roof. And I think he was the only one involved in this wreck. Yeah, that was the number 3 machine that hit him, just had nowhere to go.
He definitely had some help, though, I would think, Hayes. He definitely had a lot of help from that 3 car getting involved in this one and getting flipped over.
Yeah, for sure. It looked like, after he hit the wall, the 3 kind of got into him again and got into him a second time. And that was really what started his flip here. But late race caution, going to restart with 2 laps to go here from Knoxville.
Yeah, so one of those green-white checkered instances that we've talked about in a lot of racing series here on PitStop TV. They always give us some excitement, and hopefully we can put together a good one here. Race leader right now, Thomas Richard, is going to be the one to control the restart, that 3 car, the white and purple machine we've been seeing up front for a while now. He's going to have pressure from behind. I think Cody Higbee's one to watch from the tail as they go back to green flag racing. It's going to be Higbee and then Hebert, and leading us through Thomas Richard, those 2 looking to the inside, trying to put some pressure on.
Hebert immediately dove to the bottom there in turn 1, but he's going to lose some of that ground off the corner. He's going to try again here in 3 and 4. Once again, not going to work. Richard's going to lead us to the white flag.
So 1 more lap remaining here at Knoxville. The BRP iRacing Big Block Modifieds come around the half mile for the final time, side by side up the front of this field. Hebert to the bottom, Richard up top. Momentum's going to carry that 3 car out front. He goes to the bottom, slams the door, doesn't give Kevin Hebert a chance. Out of turn number 4 this time. Your race winner is going to be Thomas Richard, the first repeat winner of the season in that 3 machine as Mike Wenner going airborne. What a way to end that race. Mike Wenner flipping violently in.
And he still gets a top 10.
Well, he held on to it. Wow, I mean, that's a way to go out, though. You said it earlier. If you're going out, you may as well go out with a bang, and I think Wenner definitely showed that right there.
Let's see what happened here. Oh, he gets into the back of the 84. Loses it a little bit, keeps it straight, and then they're kind of beating and banging across the line. He hits the wall and gets a top 10 in the air.
Yeah, that car was about airborne and straight up and down when it came past the line, but obviously held onto it at the end. So that is your top 3. You see them all lined up and staged, ready to go for the post-race interviews, which we will get momentarily. We're going to go ahead and step aside, get everything set up and ready to bring you the top 3 post-race interviews here on PitStop TV. Quick coverage break, but we will be right back after a word from some of our partners.
Sound Art is a product that is a speaker and it's art. We combine it together and we call it Sound Art. What makes it so unique that any picture can be your speaker? Sound Art gives you the high quality sound without the ugly speaker. This isn't a picture with a speaker, the picture is the speaker. Just imagine your wedding picture uploaded onto a canvas and now it's speaking 10,000 tunes. I mean, it's a very cool concept. What we like so much about it that you can take anything that means something very special to you, upload it on the canvas, have it hanging up in your room, your balcony, wherever you want to put it, and now it's a speaker. I mean, how cool is that? It's something that we have that and no one has. No one has this product. It's just a great gift to give anybody. It's just a neat concept. Around here we say, art never sounded so good.
After months of quarantine, we're all interested in how we can become our best self. The team at Permanent Makeup and Cryo is here to help you get the flawless makeup look every day without the extra effort or time. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy.
Welcome back, race fans. We have just wrapped up an exciting BRP feature race here tonight. 30 laps to get it to the end, and the race winner at the end is that 3 machine. I got Thomas in the booth with us. Thomas, can you hear me?
Yep.
Alrighty, Thomas. Well, the beginning stages of this race, you kind of just had to trek on. You had a lot of pressure and a lot of good cars around you, but at the end of it, it looked like a pretty solid deal running that top side.
Yeah, at first I was behind Kevin Ebert and Ryan Susi. He was really strong on the lead, and at the end, when I was on the lead, I think I was really strong.
Yeah, I would say you were pretty strong there. There were a couple of restarts that you had to take into account and react to. What was your strategy off of those restarts, trying to slowly pick your way up to the front? And then obviously when you got up to the front, what were you thinking leading them back to the line?
Yeah, first I was with Ryan, and I was just trying to go with him and follow him. And after, when it was my turn to do the restart, I was trying to just let go and having a great start.
Absolutely, and a great restart it was too. It definitely kept you up front there. Now, Thomas, you are the first repeat winner of the season, and definitely going to help you in the championship. You've got plenty of races left this year. What's your strategy to try to rile back up and get into the top 3, maybe even get up into the front of the point standings?
Yeah, of course, I will try to maybe do some more practice and take every races by races. So I will try to make the best I can.
And with that, we're looking at Weedsport next week. What are you thinking about your abilities and performance that you can put together up in that New York racetrack?
Yeah, Weedsport is a pretty technique track, and I think I will be pretty good. I practiced a little bit there, so I think it's gonna be good.
Well, I hope so, and when we get there, we might be talking to you again, but for the time being, we'll set you free to celebrate this one, coming home first place here at Knoxville. But before we do that, we're going to give you center stage and the microphone all to yourself. Thomas, anybody you want to thank or anything you want to say here on the broadcast?
Yeah, of course, I want to thank the French channel with Kevin Ebert and Maxime Plain. It's always a pleasure to race with them. And I want to thank Richard Gross Racing Team to support me every week and every race on Facebook.
Awesome stuff, Thomas. Congratulations on race win number 2 this season. Definitely a great place to get it here at Knoxville. Enjoy it, bud, and we'll be hopefully talking to you again next week.
Thanks.
So there is Thomas Richard, your race winner tonight in that 3T machine. I'm going to hand the microphone over to my partner in crime, Hayes Booth, and we're going to bring him second place tonight, Kevin Hebert. Take it away, Hayes.
All right, we're up here in the booth with Kevin Hebert. Kevin, you got a copy?
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, you bring it home P2 tonight. We saw you up towards the front for most of the race. You were running really well up there inside the top 10, top 5. So, just for starters, how did your car handle throughout the race? We saw, most of the drivers running the top side throughout the race. So, running that top lane where most of the grip was, how did the car handle for you?
Yeah, I was doing better on the inside. I had a great car on the beginning, and after the halfway, when everyone went to the top, I tried sticking to the bottom and it didn't pay, so I had to go up and tried everything. But I think I was lucky through all of this when Maxime hit the wall. Kind of got pretty well with it, but it sucks for him. But it's my teammate, and I don't like seeing that. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a great race also next week.
Yeah, man. So, speaking of next week, we're going to Weed Sport. So, after coming home with a P2 finish tonight, what are your plans heading into that race?
I really like this racetrack. It's a great small track where there's a lot of action, and you're kind of able to run any lane you want. It's really a great racetrack for these cars. Love the track. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a lot of fun.
All right, man. Well, finally, do you have anyone you want to thank for this finish tonight?
Of course, my crew chief, my girlfriend at home. She's doing the job as always, texting me if I should do something, if I'm doing something wrong, and Jean Préville, and also Les gars de course. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, man. Well, thank you for your time. Congrats on this podium finish tonight. We'll see you next week. Have a good night.
See you next week, guys.
All right, we'll hand it back to Joe.
Yes, sir. That was second place, Kevin Hebert, and it is worth mentioning he's been putting together some great performances. That is his third top 3 this season. We'll bring in the final podium finisher, Cody Higbee, number 97. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Cody, this is Joe. We saw you kind of trek up through the field. You did kind of have that start that was just kind of get through it, get to the front, get slowly up there and pace yourself to get to the front. Was that the key? Was just to take it easy and wait for your opportunity to get handed to you?
Definitely. I started pretty deep. I think I started 14th or something. Knoxville is not my strongest suit, so I knew if I kept the nose clean, I'd be there in the end.
Well, we hear guys come on a lot when we do these top 3 finishing positions, and we hear guys say, this track doesn't really suit me. I don't really like this track. Do you think that coming into this race, maybe a little bit more preparation, or maybe the mentality was a little different, that helped you put together what evidently is a very impressive performance?
Oh, without a doubt. I said it's not my best track. I just did a lot of testing here during the week, and it definitely pays off because I know where the lines come in at the end. And I found the bottom there on that last restart, and it really paid off. Really got me to that top 3.
And that top 3 is also your second consecutive top 3. Obviously, the runner-up at Vermeer, and been starting to make some noise for the championship with those solid performances. And are you looking forward to the rest of the season, maybe including Weed Sport and the future as maybe potential places where you can finally crack that win?
Definitely. I think it's coming. 2 consecutive top 3s, it's got to be coming. Hopefully I could just keep this up, you know what I mean? Top 3 is still good with the points coming here, and it's all getting pretty close, so it's going to be good.
Absolutely, and it's a close series with all the great talent we see out on the track week in, week out. So to get a third place performance and finish here in third place is definitely something to get the credit for. And we want to give you all that credit, but we're going to give you center stage for a quick second and let you give some credit to anybody out there who supports you or anybody you want to thank and shout out here on the broadcast.
Yeah, I just want to shout out everybody watching and tune in next week for Weed Sport. It's going to be a good race.
We're hoping so, and we're hoping to see you put on the fight that you have been both last weekend, this week again, Cody. Maybe we'll be talking to you again there.
I hope so.
All right, so there's Cody Higbee, the final podium finisher for tonight's race, and we'll go ahead and run you through the official race results here at Knoxville. Starting off at the top of the board with the 3, Thomas Richard, second win this season. Great performance from him at the end of this one. Kevin Hebert put the afterburners on at the end and riled that car into second place. Cody Higbee took it easy and then brought it up into third, rounding out your podium. Michael Hackett put on a tear at the end of that race, got himself into fourth spot. And Joe Matthews, how about that top 5 for the one car, getting up there at the end of this one. Adam Hilton in 6th place at the end. Ryan Beagle's going to be finishing 7th. And then we have Double D, Dylan Davidson in 8th spot at the end. Travis Miller fought all the way back up into 9th after a couple incidents throughout the course of the evening. And Mike Wenner, airborne at the line, rounds out your top 10.
All right, and then we go to P11. Matt Juriter in the 03 brings it home just outside of the top 10. Then we have in 12th the number 35 of Brandon Gruhl. Richard Pereira, in the number 96 brings it home 13th. David DePetro brings it home 14th in the number 68 machine. And rounding out the top 15 is the number 121 of Tyler Pacholski. Then we have in 16th the number 99 of Hunter Holberg, Double H. And then 17th we have the number 45, Jamie Porter. Brian Berger in the number 16 brings it home P18. Ryan Susi, we saw him running up front throughout most of the race, but a disappointing wreck late in the race will cause him to finish P19 in the number 38. Then we have Maxime Plant bringing it home, rounding out the top 20 in the number 79 machine. And then we have the final 6 drivers in the field. 21st, the number 88 of Corby Daniels, and 22nd we have the number 24, Randy Giroux. Dean Mietzler brings it home in the 23rd position in number 49. Gavin Eisel brings it home in the number 18 in 24th position. 25th will be the number 55 of Brett Haas, and rounding out the field is AJ Albreda in the number 022.
A tough night for those guys at the tail end of the field. Those are some of the names we saw in a couple of incidents here tonight, and especially considering Albreda came into this race second in the points, I think that's pretty significant, and we'll have to wait and see next week how significant it was, both for the points race and for his motivation to get back up to the front. But overall, in tonight's race, Hayes, it's been a pretty exciting event. The track worked in really nice, and we got some really awesome racing on screen.
Yeah, we really did. And, I think this is the perfect race for all preferences. We had, you got people that like watching for the crashes. We had plenty of crazy crashes in this race. You got people that watch for good, hard, beating and banging racing. We got a lot of that. And then you have people who like, the more chill type of racing. We got a lot of that. So I think this race definitely had a lot of variety, had some crazy flips, crazy hard racing. And I think that's really what we saw most of tonight. And I don't know about you, but I really enjoyed watching.
I absolutely agree with you, not only in your points, but I had a great time here at Knoxville. Knoxville definitely was the type of track that these guys would come to and have an edge at. Modifieds race really nice on flatter facilities like this one, obviously, and it played out really nicely for these guys at the end of the event. So with that, we will go ahead and wind down, and to start them off, we got to thank all of these partners with the BRP iRacing series: Bicknell Racing Products, Rival Powder Coatings and Sand Blasting, MDR Designs, Butt Kicker, Jam Performance, and Miller's Auto Detailing, all coming out, giving these guys some love and showing their stuff with the series. We appreciate them giving these guys a chance to race week in, week out on these Monday night events. We also want to thank our own PitStop TV partners. We start off with Tucson Sound Art. Your picture, your music. You provide the image you want, and we will create a custom, beautifully framed, high-quality picture with a built-in Bluetooth speaker. I know our boss here at PitStop TV, Andrew Cardinale, has one, and he speaks so highly of it. I can't even tell you how worthwhile this product is. Be sure to visit the website TucsonSoundArt.com. Get one for yourself, find out other information about these products, and we have a promo code. Don't forget that promo code. PitStop TV at checkout will get you 10% off purchase. Go check it out. Go at least give it a shot. We want to thank Race Pace for coming on board with us tonight. If you ever wished that you could have a racing engineer on speed dial to help you get that car to the front, you now can. Tyler Campbell will work with you via Race Pace, both in terms of giving you setups and driver development, any sort of advice you need on the iRacing program. Tyler will hook you up. He's a real world race engineer ready to step your game up before your next race. Pick up the pace with Race Pace today. We want to thank Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy. At Permanent Makeup and Cryo, Ashley Bullier, a certified micropigmentation specialist, will give you the utmost in professional care that's both safe and personalized to fit your beauty services. You can contact Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine at permanentmakeupinmaine.com or call them or text them even at 207-358-8683. If you're looking for the best solutions for your permanent makeup concerns, give Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine a call today and book a consultation. Once again, that number, 207-358-8683. And what more could we say about none other than our parent organization, Whiplash Media, specializing in various sim racing resources, including paint schemes, stream overlays, iRacing camera packs, and much more. Also working on a presence in the real racing world, services such as photography, social media management, and public relations, all available. Go to www.whiplash-media.com. Get more information on all of that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude our coverage of the BRP Big Blocks tonight. We at PitStop TV want to thank you for tuning in and joining us on this Monday night to watch tonight's action. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. 1 week from now, we will amass the BRP drivers once again for their showdown at Weed Sports Speedway. But in the meantime, be sure to join us at 10 p.m. So that's just about 13 minutes from now for the Pacific Challenge GT3 Series racing at Laguna Seca this evening. Join us again tomorrow night when Operation E Motorsport brings out their herd at VIR. The Bluegrass iRacing Series will be going live from Watkins Glen on Wednesday, and then the LTAC Cup Series from Milwaukee on Friday night, and then that will be followed by the Nork Classic at Daytona on Saturday. Make sure you follow us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/PitStopTV/ just look them up, PitStop-TV. Go on Twitter, follow us at PitStopTV_. Go to Twitch, be sure to check us out, Pit_Stop_TV. And of course on YouTube, www.youtube.com, and then just give us the search PitStop TV1. For all of us here at PitStop TV, Hayes Booth has been a rock star beside me on the mic tonight, Corey Rexford, the rock star on social media, and of course Trey Shuttlesworth giving us production for our event. I'm Joe Donahue. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you in 12 minutes time for the race at Laguna Seca with Pacific Challenge GT3. Take care, everybody. We'll see you there.
Sound Art is a product that is a speaker and it's art. We combine it together and we call it Sound Art. What makes it so unique that any picture can be your speaker? Sound Art gives you the high quality sound without the ugly speaker. This isn't a picture with a speaker, the picture is the speaker. Just imagine your wedding picture uploaded onto a canvas and now it's speaking 10,000 tunes. I mean, it's a very cool concept. What we like so much about it that you can take anything that means something very special to you, upload it on the canvas, have it hanging up in your room, your balcony, wherever you want to put it, and now it's a speaker. I mean, how cool is that? It's something that we have that and no one has. No one has this product. It's just a great gift to give anybody. It's just a neat concept. Around here we say, art never sounded so good.
After months of quarantine, we're all interested in how we can become our best self. The team at Permanent Makeup and Cryo is here to help you get the flawless makeup look every day without the extra effort or time. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy.